The Internal Family Systems, IFS, model of personality and psychotherapy. The IFS model was developed by Dr. Richard Schwartz. We often think about ourselves as having a personality, something that defines who we are and how we behave. But perhaps it is more accurate to think of our personalities as being made up of many parts. For example, some parts try to help us get what we want. Other parts try to prevent us from making mistakes. And some parts may even blow up when we get angry. This is normal. Having multiple parts is the natural state of our minds. Our parts exist in relationship to other parts, like a family or system. And all of our parts have good intentions, even if sometimes they get forced into extreme behaviors which we might not like. Let's think about the landscape of the human mind, the internal family systems territory where these parts of ourselves live. When all is calm and nothing much is going on, it's a pleasant place to be. There are different areas within the IFS territories. There's the place where our protector parts live, and the place where our exile parts live, and a wall divides them. There is also a place where a special part called the self lives. We'll come back to the self later. Let's start by taking a look at our exile parts. These are the young, wounded parts of ourselves. They carry heavy burdens of past pain and hurt. It is the job of the protectors to keep the exiles safe. And they do this by trying to keep them hidden behind the wall where their pain will not be felt. There are two kinds of protectors. First, there are the managers. Our managers are typically in charge most of the time. Their job is to protect the system. In particular, they want to protect us from experiencing the pain of our exiles. They do this by being proactive, that is, by trying to prevent problems before they happen. They might seem to be controllers, caretakers, or worriers, for example. Or they might also be critics, those harsh inner voices telling us we must, should, or cannot do something. And most of the time, those managers do keep us safe and help us avoid making mistakes. They help keep the pain of our exiles well hidden. But sometimes they're just not enough, and our pain gets triggered by something, and one of our exiles takes over the system. We might feel hurt, abandoned, or rejected, for example. And this is when our other kind of protectors kick in, the firefighters. Our firefighters are reactive. This means they jump in to save the day when we are feeling the pain of our exiles. They might do this by trying to shut down the whole system, withdrawing, or getting angry, rage, or even by trying to escape, addiction, for example. We might think of firefighters as our fight or flight reaction. And when a firefighter is in control, it really takes over. And because all of our parts are like a family, there are often relationships between our parts. Sometimes those relationships are collaborative, but often, just like in families, they are in conflict with each other. We might say, one part of me wants to, while another part of me says I should. This is also a normal part of living. In IFS, when this happens, we say our parts are polarized. So how do we navigate our way through all of these parts and the different responses and behaviors they create for us? Remember that earlier we talked about the self. The self is another part of ourselves, but a very special part. Everyone has a self part, even if our protectors and exiles may be different. Self is our highest part. It is the part that is pure, wise, and loving. It is the part that can heal us and can keep the whole family system in balance. By putting our self part in charge, we can navigate the system, negotiate between our protectors, and ultimately reach our exiles. So even though internal family systems is a form of therapy, the real healer of the system is your own self. IFS is an approach to help you access your own self in order to understand your parts better, to help keep the family system of parts in balance, and ultimately to help heal the pain of your exiles.